Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. Today I'm going to show you how to take this and turn it in a fun twist into this. All right, so we are going to do a cool cutting technique with 4 pieces of designer series paper and make a set of 4 cards. I hope you're as thrilled as I am by this. All right, let me slide our samples aside. Let's take a look at what we need to start with. You've got 4 designer series paper pieces that coordinate. This is a little bit easier to do if you have a non-directional pattern. So I have got these delightfully eclectic patterns. These are 3 3/4 by 5. All right, now I also have 4 basic black 4 by 5 1/4 inch panels and 4 bubble bath standard card pieces. All right, so let's get started with this. Let's cut our designer series paper and make 4 cards out of them. All right, so we'll need our paper trimmer for this. And we're going to take 2 of these patterns at a time. I'm going to put the bubble bath one on top because it'll be a little bit easier to see our marks. You're going to have 2 stacks of 2 for this technique. All right, so let's open up the paper trimmer and we're going to set this on the cutting line, one edge on the cutting line and the other edge on this ruler. All right, super simple. You're going to take a pencil or another erasable marking device, and on this side, on this ruler, you're going to mark 2 and 3. And then on this side of the paper, you're going to follow 1 and mark 1. You're going to follow 4 and mark 4. So do that for both of your stacks. 2, 3, 1, and 4. All right, now we're going to line these up in our paper trimmer with those marks that we made at 2 and 1 on the track and cut. Now, reverse your angle. You're going to put 3 and 4 on the track and cut. Repeat with your second stack. Now we're going to take our paper trimmer out of the picture so that we can erase any remnant of the pencil mark that we see on these. All right, so there is our paper. Now we're going to shuffle. We're going to mix and match and mat these designer series paper pieces. Got those 4 solid color mats. And we're going to go ahead and shuffle through the pieces. Now, I chose a non-directional pattern for this because we want that wide side for the design that we're using to be in the center panel on the left side. All right, so let's arrange our pieces like that to start with. And what we're going to do is shuffle through. So we're going to do 1 black, or a pink, a black, and then a pink, but we don't want the same pink. So we'll shuffle through. All right, so there's our 3 different patterns. Let's go ahead and glue them down. I like to use the liquid glue for this and move rather quickly because then you've got a little bit of time to slide and make sure that your mat is all even. So we got all 3 down there, and now we can say, all right, we need to slide a little bit to the right You need to slide up a little bit so that the bottom and the top are even. Left is still a little wider than the right, and we can just kind of tweak and twist. So that looks pretty good. Now we're going to mix up the next one. This time we'll start with a black, and we'll do a pink one in the middle, and we'll end with a different black. So you're getting the idea, right? Rotate through your designs until all 4 sets are on the mat. All right, so now you see we've got all 4 pieces on the mat. The next step is to put all 4 mats on the card bases. And this is the basic idea, the basic concept here. 4 designer series papers, 4 contrasting mats, 4 contrasting card bases, and that is the start of our set. Isn't that cool? I really love this technique. And these papers are delightfully eclectic, that's for sure. If you haven't seen that delightfully eclectic designer series paper, it's definitely worth checking out. I know that some of you have told me that you don't know if you love it $30 worth, but I'm telling you, there is a lot of fun to be had in this designer series paper set. All right, there's our last. Now we're going to get ready for our specifics. So this is the concept, this is the technique, this is what I wanted to teach you. But what are we going to do with it? Well, we're going to make Hello Kiwi cards. I couldn't resist this set. It's a photopolymer 11-piece stamp set from Stampin' Up, and it's got kind of fun, eclectic feel. I was inspired by the catalog samples for my projects today. You take a look in the annual catalog, page 54, you'll see the Hello Kiwi, but look at that cute little sample there. And it inspired my whole set of cards. I also love this sample. So really kind of an eclectic set, a little bit off the wall. I love the Kiwi though and couldn't resist. So that's what we're doing. We're making Kiwi cards now. So the next thing you need are 4 basic white squares for this card. I cut these using the Stylish Shapes dies. It's the largest pierced circle. You need 4 of those. So 4 of those, and then I have 4 of this bubble bath strip. We're going to use that for our sentiment, and I cut this little sentiment strip using the Something Fancy dies. All right, so we've got those. Let's go ahead and do some stamping. I need some scraps of basic white cardstock. Hello Kiwi is photopolymer, so we're going to bring in our Stampin' Pierce mats and Memento Tuxedo black ink. And we're gonna stamp the outlines for our Kiwi. So we're gonna need 1 for each card. I've got the round Kiwi, the full round slice. Oh my gosh, I love this. And then I've got the half round slice, 1 for each card. And then the raspberry, 2 for each card. I don't know why. I don't know why kiwis and raspberries. All I know is they make a fun pop of color, perfect for this summertime. All right, now we're gonna set that aside for just a second, and we're gonna do thanks on all of our little banner pieces. And this is from that same Hello Kiwi stamp set. Gonna do Memento Tuxedo Black on Bubble Bath, kind of a striking combination. Thanks. All right, now we can set aside our Memento ink. I'm bringing in Melon Mambo and Lemon Lime Twist now. And I need a piece of scratch paper. I'm gonna use a little bit of mini grid paper. I'm using this very sparingly. I love this stuff, but just cover your work surface, because what we're going to do is for each of these cards, we're going to do a solid first generation and a stamped off element. So this one's first generation, this one's stamped off, this one's first generation, this one's stamped off. We're just going to alternate through first generation, stamped off. I think it adds just a little bit of extra depth to our cards. So let me show you that. We're going to do the inside of our half round Kiwi lemon lime twist. And before we stamp on our cardstock, we're going to gently stamp off on our scratch paper. And when I have the first use of the stamp, I do like to just kind of prime it by stamping off a couple of times. All right, then I will stamp the inside of my Kiwi, my half slice. There's our second generation. I love the depth that we're getting from the lemon lime twist. You get the full strength in this whole slice, and then the stamped off on our half slice, and it just really will add a layer of depth. Now we've got our raspberry. We're gonna do that with Melon Mambo. And we're gonna cut out our fruit. So let's clear away the ink pad. No ink catastrophes today. I'm gonna grab some paper snips and cut these guys out. Now, you're gonna cut out with just a tiny little border of white around each of the items. Just keep the integrity of that line. It throws down some cover for when you are maybe not the most perfect fussy cutter right on the line. If you cut just past the line and leave a little border, what that does is it puts the attention on the stamped line and not on your cutting. All right, so give yourself a little border, a little bit of room, and we're gonna cut out 2 raspberries and 2 kiwis for each card. Okay, there's our 2 raspberries, our 2 kiwis. And grab some mini dimensionals. I'm going to pop some mini dimensionals on the back of my kiwis. So for my slice, I'm going to do 3 to support it well. But for my half slice, it's going to overlap. So let's just put 2 on the back here so we don't end up with a double dimensional where they overlap. All right, so set those aside, 1 for each card. And we're going to do our square next. So you can see I've got a little pop of black contrast here, kind of matting our square on the bubble bath. And then on the ones that are black on the bottom, we've shifted that contrast to the side. Let's go ahead and make that little piece and adhere it to our squares. I'm going to use the handmade tag punch for this. You can find something in your collection that has like a label-y edge, a different punch if you don't have this one. We only need a half because we're going to glue it to the back. We're going to do 2 of these pieces to the bottom right and 2 to the top left. That way our black will end up a nice contrast on the bubble bath. So here are our squares. Now let's adhere them to our card bases. They're going to be right and low of center for this design. And it doesn't matter if you've got the pink on the bottom or the pink on this center, still a little bit to the right and low of center. All right, there's our little rectangles. Next step, our raspberries. They're going to go on with some liquid glue and just pop them up off the edge of that pierced square. Then we've prepared our other fruits with dimensionals. Just peel and stick. leave a little bit below for your greeting. And let's get all of our fruits. Now all of our kiwis. Let's peel the dimensionals, pop those guys on. Our fruits are looking great. Let's grab our thanks banners, and we're going to go ahead and adhere a little bow on each of these and a little flower. So let me show you my flower. Got my Petal Park Builder punch here and scraps of basic white. We're going to punch 4 little flowers. Now we're going to shape and embellish our flowers. Let's move our samples over for just a second here. Bring in our Stampin' Pierce mats, and we're going to press into the center of each of these little punch outs using the putty end of our Take Your Pick tool with the cap on. Remove the cap, and we're going to use our adhesive back solid gems and add a little dimensional to the center of each of the flowers. Then we're going to take the flowers, then we'll put that little flower on a mini glue dot so it's ready to just pick and stick. Next up is our bow. I've got the gingham ribbon here. This is the black and white 1/4 inch gingham. Love this with these delightfully eclectic designer series paper. So if you're considering that paper, this ribbon is fantastic with tons of the patterns in there. The other one you want to check out is the cotton ribbon, the 1/8 inch cotton ribbon combo pack on the clearance rack. It's awesome ribbon to go along with your delightfully eclectic designer series paper. All right, so we got our tiny little bow. Let's cut that away from the spool and get it on the glue dot. And we can now assemble our little greeting, embellish our little greeting. We're going to add our bow to the left end of the greeting. Pop the little flower nuzzled right up to the bow. And there's your thanks greetings. Aren't they a cute accent? Let's get our cards back in here now. All right, time to pull the samples out because we're getting there, but 8 cards, kind of hard to keep in the view of the camera here. We're going to spread out our set that we're working on. Good, you can see them all. Got our little greetings here. I'm going to adhere the thanks banners with some dimensionals. I'm still using my mini dimensionals for this, but what I'm going to do is half them. So I'm going to go right along the row here. I'm going to cut off half dimensionals. I'm going to turn over my banners and add these little half dimensionals along the bottom half of the banner because part of this banner is going to overlap the kiwi fruits that are already bumped up. And then I'll take a little piece of the edge to use it up and put that where it's not going to overlap the kiwi fruit. So that's what I'm going to do for these banners to give them good support and still fit with along the bumped up fruit. All right, our banners are sticky and we're just going to go ahead and apply. I want to put them so you can still see the line of piercing across the bottom of our white square. I like the little detail and how the thanks nestles right up to the fruit. How cute is that? All right, we're not done. We need one more little touch. So we've got that little pop of lemon lolly from our flower center. Let's add just a couple more of the smaller gems to the card base. make a little triangle placement from the center of the flower. Isn't that just the sweetest, brightest, kind of funkiest card you've ever seen? I hope that you have enjoyed the technique and that you'll use it. If you try this technique, please share your cards in the kitchen table, Stamper, or Craft Social. All we ask is that you share things that are made with primarily Stampin' Up! Products, that you don't promote yourself or other demonstrators, and that you don't link away from the Craft Social. The rules are easy, the community is awesome, so give this technique a try and head on over to our group and show us what you do with it. If you've got any questions about the project, you can email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com and shop Stampin' Up! 24/7. Maybe now you're feeling some appreciation for Hello Kiwi or the delightfully eclectic designer series paper. Buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. When you're there, click shop. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.